So namaste yogis. Welcome to Yin Yoga. My name is Patti and I'm going to guide you through practice today. We are stepping into Earth Week this week, so we will do some grounding practices today. And we are going to do a nice foot massage. So if you would like to gather props right now, maybe a blanket or a bolster, maybe some socks for your feet to give them a little extra comfort when we go into Shavasana or at any point after we do our foot massage. And if you have a favorite essential oil or a lotion or even just a little bit of olive oil to massage, you're welcome to go grab that while I read our waiver. In order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you have moved nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or a class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat. And if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical exam and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. So let's start with finding a comfortable seated position. You have many options, whether it be Sukhasana, legs crossed, Dandasana, legs extended long, Virasana, legs bent, sitting on heels. As we come into our breath, taking some time here to just notice your breath. Not doing anything to change the breath at first. Just noticing its natural rhythm, noticing how you need to do nothing. The body just breathes on its own. Notice the sensations in the physical body today. And then notice what's going on in the mind space. Allowing yourself to be the observer of what's going on in the mind. Taking the next 60 minutes for yourself. Then draw awareness back to the physical body. Maybe rock a little right and left and forward and back on the sits bones. Making sure wherever they're at, you have that sensation of floating on them. Then draw awareness to the shoulders. Make sure they're directly over the hips. And then draw awareness into the spine. Start to elongate the spine. Starting to reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Notice as you elongate the spine, creating a little bit of space between each vertebrae. How you get that natural core engagement here in the front side of the body. Notice how you create a little bit more room for the diaphragm. Notice how the natural external rotation of the shoulders will happen. As you bring the chin to neutral, notice how the breath then expands. See if you can just expand the breath a little bit more, creating a little bit more room. Build the breath just a little bit. Starting to maybe fill the lungs a little higher, almost that feeling as if the breath is just tickling the back of the throat. Notice the exhales lengthen. If it's in your practice to add in an Ujjayi breath in this space, see if you can make that Ujjayi a whisper sound, only audible to you. Then allow yourself to just come into a rhythm of breath now that just turns on your parasympathetic nervous system. That space of peace and calm. Noticing the softening of the body, but noticing its strength also. Notice that for many of us, this rhythm is an even breath, an even inhale and an even exhale. Notice there's no right or wrong to this. Allow yourself just the time to really find this breath. This is going to be the breath for our practice of Yin. As we settle into the poses, allowing ourselves to take time in the poses, mindfulness, allowing connective tissue to open up. Once you've found that breath, bringing yourself back into the space. If you're in any other pose than Sukhasana, easy pose, allow yourself to shift into Sukhasana. And if you've been in Sukhasana, allow yourself the opportunity to switch legs in Sukhasana. And then from this space, whichever foot is in front, you're just gonna pick it up first into your hand, and you're just gonna take both hands and just notice it. Letting the hands move along. Noticing what's going on in this foot. Maybe wiggling it out a little bit. And then letting that leg go long out in front of you as you draw awareness into the left foot or the other foot for if your right leg was in front. Just letting yourself kind of move the hands along this foot, noticing what's going on. And then letting that leg come long out in front. Roll the ankles. Whichever way you're going, change direction. And then pause and find stillness here. And just take a moment to notice. We did just gentle touch on the feet. And just notice maybe the sensations that are now in the feet. Pausing to notice. Noticing whether they're on the bottom side or top side, right or left, what toes. And then from here, take all 10 toes and spread them wide. And then bring them back together and hug them in. One more time, spread spread those toes wide. Maybe this time taking the opportunity to notice who's cooperating and who's not. No judgment. And then hug, hug, hug them in one more time. Then letting them go by either rocking them or wiggling them out. You're gonna find either your essential oil, or your lotion. You're gonna put a little dab on your hands. And then you're gonna take the opportunity to create some heat in the hands, rubbing the hands together. Rub, 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 rub. When you feel that heat, you're gonna bend the right leg up and just start the gentle massaging again, maybe a little bit deeper this time. Warming the feet. Taking the opportunity to move the thumbs into the arch, noticing. Move into the space behind the toes, noticing. Pressing those thumbs in, using the 4 fingers on the front side. Draw those thumbs down into the heels. Then make your way back up to the toes. Use the thumb to separate the toes, and then just start drawing some space between the toes. Maybe take the toes and wiggle them back and forth, noticing what's going on in all those little joints. And then take the opportunity to take the left hand, place the palm on the foot, and interlace the fingers between the toes. Take your time to get there, and then do some ankle circles here. With that left palm pressing nicely into the foot, maybe moving those toes a little bit more. After a few rounds going one way, go the opposite direction. And then pause in stillness, release the fingers, and then just take both hands and just hold the foot. Let the hands softly move up and down, touching all the edges. And then releasing that right foot out in front next to the left. Maybe taking the opportunity to look at the feet. I'm always amazed that you notice the color is actually different in the foot that you just massaged. Notice maybe the sensations in that right foot. And then as we prepare to go to the other side, allow yourself the opportunity to get another dab of your oil, lotion, essential oil. Take the time to warm the hands again, rubbing them together. And then bending up that left foot. We're going to do the same thing here. Take time to just rub the foot. All the edges. Same thing. Thumb into those arches. Move up into the toe mounds behind each of the toes. Get that heel nice and well. Don't forget the edges, outer edges. Rub into that heel. Move up into those toes, separating them. Maybe wiggling each one. And then doing the same thing on this side. We're going to take that right palm, place it on the bottom side of the foot, and interlace the fingers. This is such a beautiful act of self-care, and we always forget about our feet. Our feet are so important. Even when we're sitting, they're giving us our grounding, putting the feet on the floor. So rolling those ankles on this side. Taking the opportunity then to let that foot go, both hands, just a gentle, soft seal. And then let that left foot come out in front. You're welcome to take the opportunity with any extra lotion or oil to just give a little love to the hands too. Kind of the same thing, separating the fingers, maybe drawing each finger. As you're working through the hands, just noticing this feet. Maybe taking the chance to spread the toes wide one more time. Noticing maybe you created a little bit more space. Hug the toes in. Maybe you loosened up that plantar fascia. And then just pausing in stillness for a moment with the legs long in Dandasana. Just noticing. Then as you're ready, you're going to swing the legs around. We're coming into a tabletop here. We're going to spread the fingers of the hands nice and wide. We're going to press the tops of those feet into the floor. We're going to lengthen the tops of those feet just slightly, drawing awareness into the toes. See if you can press the tops of the toes into the feet just a little bit. Tabletop is going to be our first yin pose today, so making sure that you've got weight equally distributed between the hands and the shins. That core is lifting, so lightness across the back side of the body. See if you can get a little extra external rotation of the shoulders. Nice micro bend in those elbows, supporting. Gaze is down at the mat. As we have that extra awareness on our feet, we're pressing the tops of those feet. Starting to maybe get a little stretch in the feet. Where is that beautiful breath that you created? More than halfway done here. So as the body starts to begin to open, make some minor adjustments. You might notice the hands start to open up, so you want to spread the fingers a little wider. You may notice some broadening across the chest. So allow these subtleties to open. Then as you're ready, we're going to transition into our second posture today. We're going to sink the hips towards the heels and find a child's pose. And I want you to check in and find the child's pose that serves you. So if it feels like you want to bring the knees out a little bit wider and draw the big toes together, go there. If you feel like you want to have the knees a little closer together, you can go there. We're going to be here for about 3 minutes. So just finding the place where you think that you can settle in comfort. The third eye on the mat, if that feels right. But if it also feels right to place a blanket or some prop here, maybe it's even the hands. With this focus of grounding, noticing the spaces that are touching the mat. See if you can find in those spaces that sense of total relaxation there. Noticing right versus left. Front versus back. Top versus bottom. And again, having this awareness as the body opens up and starts to settle in. Remembering that the mat or the floor has you. Just letting yourself soften. For the next few breath cycles, see if you can draw awareness into a space that's speaking through sensation. See if you can calm that sensation on an exhale, letting the breath do the work. And as we begin to prepare to move, we're going to do this as mindfully as we can. Drawing the hands underneath the shoulder heads, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And then drawing weight into the hands as you bring the hips back up. Walk out to that tabletop, noticing the difference from the first tabletop you've done. Taking time to set this tabletop up. And then from here, doing just a mild cow, drawing the gaze up, letting the navel draw down towards the mat. Pausing here for a couple breaths. And then moving into a cat back. Pausing there. Noticing the breath. And then making your way back to tabletop. And then now moving just with the breath through cow and cat. Back to tabletop. Then from here, you're going to tuck your toes. You're going to notice who's tucking and who's not. You're going to walk the hands back and help the toes that don't want to tuck. Bringing even weight into all 10 toes. We're just going to sit here and open up the back side of the foot or bottoms. If you're not comfortable being with shoulders over hips, you have lots of options. You can bring forearms down to the mat. You can almost come into another child's pose here. Wherever you're at, just having this beautiful, deep awareness of your feet. That nice bend in the toes as you massage your feet, noticing where all those joints are. Got another 30 seconds here. You can do this. It's so good for your feet. And as we prepare to move, you're going to draw the hands down to the mat, walking the hands out. You're going to come onto the tops of those feet again, just gently. Then from this space, you're going to swing the legs to either the right or the left. And we're going to come into a Baddha Konasana from here. But we're going to do it yin style. So as we draw the soles of the feet together, we're just going to let ourselves make almost a diamond shape. And then as you bring the soles of the feet together, now you can always place a prop underneath the legs if it becomes too much. Draw the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, elongate the spine. And then from here, draw awareness again into all 10 toes. See if each toe can find their mate, bringing them all together. Couple breaths here, elongating the spine. And then if it feels right to start to hinge at the hip crease, go ahead and start to hinge forward. The hands could be on the body, they could be on the mat, they could be face down or palms up. Remembering as palms are down or grounding a little bit more. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of energy, just bringing the palms up. You can create the bind here, reaching the arms underneath the legs, or you could place the hands on the feet and just give the feet a little bit more love. Wherever you're at, just finding that stillness in the posture. Noticing the sensations and the vibrations in the body. Allowing yourself in the stillness to move through. Remembering as the body starts to open up, allow yourself to soften into the mat just a little bit more. Not resisting the opening. Even as we come into stillness, there's still some movement here as the connective tissue opens up. So in our final minute here, if you have spent some time opening that spine and your body is craving some rounding now, you're welcome to start to draw the chin in towards the collarbone. As you round the back mindfully, maybe having the crown of the head find your feet or the floor. Then from here, if you rounded the back, you're going to, slow as you can, just elongate the spine again. As we all walk our hands back along the center line of the body, drawing the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, pausing for a moment, and then taking the hands on the outer edges of the legs. If you have props, remove them. Draw the knees up and let the legs come long. Taking some time to wiggle the toes again, roll the ankles. And then finding stillness here. Allow yourself again to just hinge forward from this space. Finding that first sensation and letting yourself just breathe through it. As the body starts to kick in, the muscle wants to help here. Just remind it, you don't need to do anything here. The floor has you. As a matter of fact, you can even let your legs totally relax. You can wiggle the toes or let the toes come out to where they feel natural here. Focusing on that sensation that you feel in the body, working your way through it. Again, keeping that spine nice and long. Noticing the softening on the exhale and not resisting it. Noticing when the legs want to kick in and just wiggle the toes. Maybe even noticing as you send that message to the muscle, you don't need it to do anything. Maybe that added softening that comes. Then again here, once you have elongated that spine, if it feels right, go ahead and tuck the chin around the back. Maybe drawing the head in closer towards the legs. Taking the posture where your body needs it to go. And going there in this space of curiosity and not judgment. Noticing the sensations, breathing through them. Staying in that mindful space. Then, if you round it at the back, as mindfully as you can, you're going to start to release the chin from the chest, getting the spine long. You're going to pause with the spine long. And then wherever the hands are at, you're going to start to walk them back as you come up. Nice long spine settling in to a more young Dandasana, crown of the head reaching, toes now pointing up towards the ceiling. Maybe noticing a little more comfort in it. Swinging the legs to either the right or the left, we're going to make our way back to a tabletop. We spent a lot of time on the lower half of the body. Let's do some opening in the upper part. As you make your way to tabletop, if your body is craving a cat and a cow, please go there. And then pausing back in tabletop here. We're going to do a thread the needle, opening up the shoulders a little bit. Know that if you're feeling tightness here, you can use your blanket to place your cheek on. So you're welcome to go there. We're going to take the right arm and reach it out to a T. And then from here, you're just going to start tucking the arm underneath. And we're going to do this a few times, just getting a little dynamic movement. Maybe reaching the arm a little bit higher as you go to the right and a little further as you go to the left. 3 to 5 times here, just kind of opening up and feeling. And then when you're ready, as that right arm reaches through, you're going to come down onto the forearm, then the shoulder. Placing the cheek or the ear on the mat. The left hand can stay right under the shoulder pad, or you can reach it out in front. You have the option, as we're going to be here for a little bit, to also reach the hand behind, placing it on the sacrum. If you'd like to make it a little bit more of a twist. And then see if you can now draw awareness also into those feet as you settle in here. See if you can draw the toes maybe a little bit longer on the mat. We've got some mild core engagement. Draw awareness into that right hand. See if you can spread the fingers just a little bit wider. Making subtle adjustments as the body opens up. Breathing into the sensations. Then on your next breath, wherever that left hand is, you're going to draw it back down to the mat underneath that shoulder pad, right in front of the face. And then spreading those fingers on that left hand nice and wide, you're going to press into that hand as you lift the right hand up. Maybe you just come out to that T, but maybe reach up towards the ceiling. You're always welcome to take some circles. Make sure whatever way you go, you do the opposite too. And then draw that right hand down to the mat. Take a cat and a cow. And then sink back into a child's pose. And this child's pose, you're going to take the hands and place them along the side of the body. Palms facing up. See if you can spread the fingers wide on those palms. Making it a little more active, spread them wide and then make a fist. Spread them wide and make a fist. One more time, spread them wide, make a fist, and then draw the back sides of the hands up along the mat. Reach as you bring the palms down to the mat. And then draw yourself back up to tabletop as we begin to make our way to the other side. So you're gonna lift that left arm up, you're gonna tuck it under. Lift it up again, maybe going a little higher, and tuck it under. Lift it up a third time. If you're ready now, go ahead and settle into the posture. But if you're feeling like you need a few more times of dynamic movement, go ahead, give it to yourself. And then just settle in here, finding what feels right for you. Remember the options of that right hand long on the mat. The right hand could also be under the shoulder pad or along the sacrum, maybe reaching for that left hip. Breathe into the posture, noticing the differences, right and left. You're going to notice it in a space of curiosity and not judgment. Allowing yourself the opportunity to feel into this unique pose. Few more rounds of breath, staying in that nice, even rhythm. Is there any place that you can soften? And then as you begin to prepare to move, wherever that right hand is, you're going to bring it to underneath the shoulder pad, right in front of the face. You're going to press into that hand as you draw the left hand out and up. Maybe roll the wrist. Maybe a few circles with the arm. And then bringing that left hand down to the mat. Take a cat and a cow. And then swinging the legs to either the right or the left. You're going to mindfully come down on to your sits bones. You're going to extend the legs out in front. And if you have a pillow or a bolster, we're going to do a nice heart opener here. So I'm going to give you some options for that too. So if you'd like, you can just do traditional heart opener with your pillows or your blanket or your bolster long, following the spine, coming down onto the bolster, blanket, pillows, chin neutral, bringing the arms out when you'd like. But if you'd like a little bit more of a shoulder opener, turning the bolster or your blankets or your pillows along as if you were making a T on your mat. And then drawing yourself back down, maybe placing an extra pillow to support the head. If fish poses in your practice, The opening in the neck might feel right to you. You're only going here if you have no neck concerns. And then from here, also bringing the arms out or along the side as you open up along the chest just a little bit more. Whichever pose you choose, you're going to settle into your breath. Relaxing the legs. Holding no tension. Maybe gently wiggling the toes. As you settle in, and the body starts to open, making those minor adjustments. So noticing maybe the pelvis needs to lift a little bit as you create more space. Maybe the legs want to come a little wider as you create more space. Maybe the arms want to go to cactus, T, an A. Maybe one feels as though it wants to reach up and overhead while the other wants to be down. Let yourself explore in this heart opener. Notice the rhythm of the diaphragm. See if you can, maybe just spread the rib cage just a little bit wider. And then maybe just spreading each rib a little wider. Opening up those intercostals. Maybe noticing as we come to closer to the end of practice, how maybe the breath has more room. And as you are ready, we're going to make our way out of this beautiful heart opener. So allowing yourself the opportunity to just check in. Figuring out how you would like to do that. You're going to roll to either the right or the left side. And you're going to make your way back up to seated. You're going to remove your props. And then you're going to gently recline back down onto the mat. Taking your time to articulate the spine. Once the shoulders and the head get to the mat, you're going to bring the feet to the floor. Knees are facing up. You're going to rock the knees side to side. Gentle windshield wiper, maybe deepening as it feels right, but you're moving in this mindful manner, connecting the breath and the movement. Then after your next round, you are coming back to center. And you're going to hug the legs in, but you're going to hold onto your hamstrings. Tucking the hands maybe between the hamstrings and the calves. See if you can leave your triceps on the mat, keeping that nice broadening across the chest. Elongate the spine, press the sacrum into the mat. Lengthen the spine, make adjustments as needed. Roll those ankles out one more time. A little final love to our feet. So from here, you're welcome to stay right here if this feels really good to you. But if you would like to let the hands go and just reach for the feet one more time, maybe massaging them a little bit more. Wiggling the toes. And then from here, wherever you're at, if you want to place your socks on your feet now, go ahead and go there. Letting the feet come back to the floor and then extending the legs long as you settle into your Shavasana. We took the time today to build this beautiful space for Shavasana. We stayed in this beautiful breath. We took the time to open up and ground the feet, noticing the connection of the feet up and through the posterior chain of the body. Just allow yourself this time, the most important pose of your practice, to just settle in, knowing all your hard work is done, knowing the only thing left for you to do here and now is to just be. You begin to hear the sound of the singing bowl. Allowing yourself to follow the sound. As you're ready to begin to bring yourself back into the space, allowing yourself the opportunity to do it with loving kindness. So slowly deepening the inhales and lengthening the exhales. As you draw in the breath, noticing how the breath subtly affects the body, adding in any movement as the body calls for it. Whether it be wiggle of fingers and toes, it might be a gentle shrug of the shoulders, a gentle rock of the head. As you continue to build the breath and your body calls for a full body stretch, feeling into the benefits of your practice, let it happen naturally. Taking your time to enjoy it. And then when you're finished stretching, let yourself roll to your right side, coming to a fetal position. Taking time here to cradle the head, to curl into a tiny ball, if that feels right. This yoga egg is the final seal of your practice today. So taking just a moment here to maybe find something you want to take off the mat and go into your week. And then drawing awareness into your left hand. Spread the fingers in the left hand nice and wide. Let the hand float down to the floor of the mat in front of you. And as you're ready to put a little weight into that hand, go ahead and bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. If you're comfortable with meeting me with hands at heart center, I welcome you to do so. I thank you all so much for the privilege of guiding you through your yin practice this week. I truly hope the benefits of practice follow you into your week. May you all be happy. May you be safe. May you walk this earth always grounded and in loving kindness. From my heart to your heart. Namaste, yogis. Om Shanti. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a great week, everyone.